Hey, welcome to the Jamaica Basketball Project. My name is Rick Turner. I'm the head coach of the Jamaica national basketball team and national coordinator, and appreciate you tuning in. If you are on the live stream right now, thanks a lot for jumping on Facebook or YouTube. If you're watching us on the replay, appreciate that as well. Or if you're listening on the podcast on iTunes, Spotify, or Google Play, can't thank you enough for checking this out. I'm a kind of I wouldn't say I'm a newbie to broadcasting, but I am a newbie to this whole kind of live streaming thing. So I've been trying to tell myself to not refer to the day, because it doesn't matter. Someone could be watching this, 3 months from now. But I am happy that it's Friday night, and we seem to get a little glimmer of hope in terms of turning back to some normalcy as far as the COVID situation is concerned. So hopefully we're a little bit closer to getting back onto the basketball court and that much closer to competing and maybe getting this thing kicked off in a way that we all hope is going to be real positive. As most of you know that tune in regularly, our goal as a program is to make the Paris Olympics in 2024, and we think we can get there. But it's going to take a lot of help from people like you that are on board watching. If it's just even if it's just moral support, that's great too. As many people as we have behind us, we need all the help. I'm super excited tonight to welcome in. I'm going to say this guy has become like a member of my family. A couple of nights ago, we talked to Chad Sutcliffe and Will Maloney from Jump Ball, the program that I've been involved with in Jamaica and Haiti for 20 years now. And over that 20 years of my involvement, I've become so close with so many people that have had a huge impact on the Jump Ball program, but also a huge impact on me personally in my life. And I know that every time I go down to Jamaica, I get off the plane and it starts going through my head the list of people that I'm excited to see and catch up with and learn about what's happening in their lives and with their family. And this guy is certainly at the top of that list. I'm going to welcome him in now. You know him.
Yeah.
Coach Skid, Lamar Dixon. How are you, buddy? It's good to see you again. You jumped on a couple of nights ago and were able to talk with Chad and Bill and we had you back today to catch up. How are things with you? Tell me where are you? I know you're North Coast, right?
Yeah, I'm in St. Anne's.
Okay.
Brownstown.
All right, cool. So what's going on? You're coaching up there. I know you guys are all in lockdown like everybody else. But what school are you at? Catch us up there and what's happening on the North Coast.
Yeah, I'm in St. Anne's, Brownstown, and I'm at York Castle High School out here in the rural areas.
How you doing with this virus deal? Are you guys? It's got to be pretty devastating on the coast.
Yeah, man. There's so much behind it, as far as people taking loss, gains in certain areas. It's a lot to learn from it. I just hope that we can cope and try to go forward. What's
happening? Are kids getting out on the basketball court and working out a little bit? Or are they pretty much staying at home? Or what's that look like up there right now?
My situation, because I live on the campus of my school and we have access to the court. And it's kind of fun because you have the kids that live in the area that has the court almost like their backyard.
Yeah.
So they'll just walk through the field and boom, they're right there at the court. So I would say about 3 kids since of late been coming by. It hasn't been a real network of coming to play ball, or these are just kids that live right adjacent to the area and they just come by and play ball.
Skid, throughout the night, you're probably aware of this. You've seen some of these. So throughout the night, people are going to check in and say hi, and I'll put them up on the screen, and you can react or not react, whatever you're going to know some of them, and I'll know some of them. We'll both know some.
Okay.
So how long have we been knowing each other? It's been a while.
Yeah. I mean, probably from 2006, ever since jump ball have been coming to the stadium.
Okay.
I've been involved. So whatever year you guys came to the stadium first, I've been involved since then.
How did you get involved? How did you find out about it? Who told you about it? Like what was it? What was that situation?
Rowan Robinson, man.
Yeah.
Rowan Robinson put my hands on basketball in Jamaica. Straight up.
Well, talk about Rowan a little bit and the influence that he's had on your life.
When I first got back to Jamaica, Rowan was one of the first persons that I met. And one of the first things that he did took me straight to the court, straight to the stadium. And I sat and watched basketball and lost myself for a second. But Rowan was the one that kind of introduced me where to play, what involvement in coaching I could get involved in, and led me to basketball in Jamaica. He did.
Yeah. What's cool about doing these for me is this is episode number 25. And over those, other 24 episodes, I've had a chance to meet people, which has been great for me. So many guys and players, current players or former players that I've had a chance to meet, but I've also had a chance to catch up with people that I already know. And the interesting thing about it is, like, we hang out, you come down to Kingston and we do the camp and we talk and hang out all week. But I've never really got to know all that much about your background, and so this will be a cool opportunity for me to kind of pepper you on that. I look at these things as
No problem.
I hate to call these interviews, especially with friends like you.
I know you so well, probably. So let's make it like we just talking.
Yeah, it's more of a conversation, right? Yeah. So you said Rowan got you back into basketball when you came back to Jamaica. Back up a little bit. Where you were up in the States and came back. Tell me.
Yeah, I was living
that evolution.
I was living in Georgia, and while living in Georgia, I coached a lot of basketball. I coached AAU. I coached YBOA. I coached at the junior high school level, and then I coached all the way up to 19-year-olds, just about. And I did a lot of coaching. Practice and games all week. I was busy, and weekends. So I did do a lot of coaching at all levels.
When did you go to Georgia? How old were you?
When I got to Georgia, I think I was about 21.
Okay. And so did you grow up in Kingston, or where'd you grow up?
No, I grew up in New York.
Oh, okay.
I grew up in New York. So that's where I played a lot of my basketball in New York. I played up until the high school level. And I played a lot of PSAL basketball. AAU wasn't so big at the time, and I played a lot of tournament basketball. I was able to play 1 year of high school basketball, which was really, really good, but that's where most of my basketball stemmed from, New York.
Yeah. And then how did you end up in Jamaica?
Well, certain situations got me back home. More personal than anything, but I'll be happy to talk about it with anyone face to face.
Sure.
But when I got back, and the goal was just to get right into basketball. If those situations didn't happen, I would have been doing the same thing in Georgia with basketball, the same exact thing.
So, okay, a question for me, but I'm gonna present it to you first, and I'll give my own answer. How do you feel about jump ball being canceled this year?
Oh man, it's a lot that goes with it, man. It's a lot. It's a lot. A lot of kids that are introduced to basketball here on the island has been through jump ball, even in the rural areas, Montego Bay, Clarendon, Portmore, jump ball. I mean, it may have been 25 kids out in Ochi, 25 in Aracabessa, but then that's 25 for 25 years.
Yeah.
You know, so jump ball has lent a big hand in basketball.
Yeah, I mean, I guess my reaction to that question is it's I look at it as more of a press pause than a cancel, right? I mean, the situation was such that there was too much uncertainty, and there's so much planning that goes into putting on, you know, a camp for 350 kids. And there was just too much uncertainty around it. So we had to make a cruddy decision for a year, but we'll be back next year, and who knows how things work out as the year goes on. The great thing about my new role is instead of coming down once a year in July, I have an opportunity to come down there, you know, as much as I can. And so there's going to be opportunities to do
more man.
Yeah.
You down, yeah.
So
it's really bad that it's canceled.
So here's a question for you, and I'm just gonna say, please feel free to get in here. And
I see that question. Who's that? Clive Knight. Who's Clive? Clive! Oh, what's up, Clive? What's up, Clive? The best time I've had, I don't know. It's been so many, because it's always been progression. It's been so many. It's always been progress. I've coached with Rowan and was successful. I coached with Ludlow and was successful. I went to Waterhouse and it was nice. And I'm here at York Castle and it's nice. And it's just been progress that's been good.
What's the move been like going from Kingston to the country, and what's that been for you and your family?
Referring to basketball is dramatic because the kids here are not getting as much basketball as the kids in Kingston. Therefore, the fundamentals are really, really, really low.
Why is that? Why is it? Because there's just not as many kids?
No, it's not the kids. It's just the culture of basketball is not reaching here at all. You don't have kids meeting to play. You don't have that Saturday morning coach coming out. You don't have that evening basketball. That culture is not there. It's not rich. You know?
You're trying to bring that, though, aren't you? Talk about some of the things you do. Talk about some of the things you do.
So, I'll go out to the park and watch the kids play, and then what I'll do, I'll take the kids that play with my team, just so they can get a little more experience. We'll go down to Buckfields Park, which is in Ochi, and I'll just sit there and I'll just watch them play and kind of let them learn how to get involved in playing, because sometimes the bigger guys then will shut them out. But what I've learned is that's where you learn and get in, see who's next, play one game and get the experience and go home, you know. So that's how I try to get them to get more experience. That culture just has to be built. That's all.
All right, I'm going to say something controversial here.
Okay.
But I'm going to try to phrase it the right way so I don't get killed.
Get it out. Get it out.
Yeah. So this is just anecdotal as I think, when I think about guys that have gone on to play overseas, there just seems to be a lot of country guys. Not that there's certainly guys from Kingston go on and have success, but there seems to be a lot of kids that are from the North Coast or like even Gil down in Portland, that go on and have success, and there's not the same maybe infrastructure. I'm a little talking out of my ass a little bit here. I don't know that this is true or not, but it just kind of seems like it. Can you put any credence into that, or is that a bad idea?
No, it doesn't start with the talent. That's why. It's the attitude. The rural kids have a more approach to let me learn something, as opposed to I can do it. Look at me. I'm the man. They're more like, teach me. No, I don't know it all. I want to learn. Teach me. They're more like that. They're more subject to say, I didn't have this opportunity. I'm going to benefit from it as much as possible, as opposed to a kid in Kingston that can just walk to KC and play ball and go home, walk to George's, and it's not like that for the rural kids. So anytime they get the chance to get in that atmosphere, they bite onto it, they grab onto it. I think that's what it is, more the attitude than anything.
I'd sort of forgotten about this, and I hadn't asked anybody to this point, and I don't even know if you were there. So, but Jamal Murray did a camp in Montego Bay over last September, I think. Were you able to go by there at all?
Yeah, some of the kids there. Yeah, some of my kids were able to attend.
How was that?
It was good. It could have been better. The only thing that upsetted me about that camp is that you set a certain amount of rules, and I would hope that everybody involved abide by those rules that are being set. But when I got there, it was a different picture, and I was upset about it because I probably could have got more of my kids involved, and I didn't get the opportunity because I was told there's a certain age group, and I always try to conform. I always try to conform so things will run smoothly, but it wasn't like that, and I was upset about it. But that was the only thing. Other than that, Murray came out and really touched the kids, man. And he's a ball player too. I didn't know much about him, but
yeah,
I mean, it's a difference when you start balling under pressure,
Yeah. Unfortunately, he's Canadian. I don't think Canada will let him out of that contract there. I know we could use him.
We can, but him showing love because of his parents being descendants and stuff like that was good. You know what I'm saying? So even from that standpoint, it was good to see him out there.
Yeah, and my understanding is they bust some kids up from Kingston, and so a lot of kids got to be a part of it.
It was good, man. The only thing, like I said, they had a certain age group, a certain number they was looking at, and it wasn't that. But it was just to say, man, I could have got more of my kids involved. That was the only thing, but that was the only thing that upset me. But with jump ball and Star Search and others doing camps and stuff like that, you can't ask for more. So try to get the kids involved as much as I can.
Another one that I'm kind of talking out of my ears here a little bit, but when you think back to 2006, when you first came to jump ball, here's another message for you. When you first came to jump ball, there wasn't a lot of other camps happening.
No.
And now, like you said, Jamal Murray comes and you've got Star Search, and you've got Harbor.
Old Harbor, Old Harbor.
I'm sorry, Old Harbor, and then the guys at Treasure Beach, and you've got other guys coming down and doing clinics on weekends, and there's more opportunities now, isn't there?
Yeah, more basketball to even get the kids. Like I said, building the culture of basketball. Well, when I'm growing up, or when I was coaching in Georgia, you had a ritual where you had AAU coming around, right after school ball. You had rec league. You had, then that's not even you playing on your own. That's just structured things that's going on. So I just knew that the more basketball that you can experience is the better you'll get.
Yeah.
That
Well,
was
you have that AAU experience, and I don't know. I don't know if most basketball people in Jamaica understand what the AAU culture is in the States, but God, my vision, I would so love to set up a situation where AAU teams are coming down to Jamaica to play our guys, in the same type of tournaments that you and I have been to a ton of times, whether it's in Vegas or in Atlanta or, in Chicago or wherever the big AAU tournaments are,
man.
to get 8, 10, 12 teams to come down. But part of that is having a facility to do it. That's the biggest challenge.
See, and that's another thing too, that the in sports arena of late, they've been getting in. Of like the last 5 years, we've been getting in, and they've been able to do more basketball inside, especially with refurbishing the outside courts. So they've been able to use inside more. But if they can even get it to be used even more, like Saturday mornings, somewhere structured where a parent can bring their kids, the kids can take the bus, just like you could come to jump ball.
Mm-hmm.
All those kids come to jump ball by themselves. It's at the stadium. Crossroads is right there. You can get to Halfway Tree right there, and you just do all those kids on a Saturday morning, 3 hours every Saturday, real quick. Fundamental basketball. Put them out, let them play, let some games go on, put some rims on the side, and just go and give them basketball.
Yeah. That's what our guys need. They just need exposure to more kids.
They say, and then even if you know about it, even if you know about AAU basketball, which the coaches are on the island are learning about now, experiencing it is a different story. So even if you can get teams to come down, just like you said, and they experience it that way, that's the hey, Stumble, big up. That's a good coach right there.
So yeah, that's the one thing that I think we both know about that whole AAU thing is parents will spend money, in part to give their kids a basketball experience, but also to give themselves an experience.
But this is it. All right. Never mind the money, even though that's a big part of it. But being that the parent is supporting, being that the uncle is supporting, being that the coach is supporting, the brother, sister, a friend, just a support by itself, not support and then leave and come. No, support all the way through.
Yeah.
All the way through and see it go through, and you'll get results.
Yeah. And talking about these camps is another thing that I've had the opportunity to do throughout these live streams is meet more coaches that, either haven't been involved in jump ball, so I never had a chance to meet them, or our paths never crossed. And there's a lot of really good coaches on the island, and I'm going to show you this. This is from Star Search. Here's a group of good coaches.
Ooh.
So just kind of talk a little bit about, I know you said you worked with Rowan and you worked with Coach Ludlow, and kind of about the Jamaica coaching.
Lindo, man, Simon. All right. Yeah, man, this is a good group right here, man. There's a lot of other coaches too that I've met.
For sure.
But yeah, these are some of the better coaches on the island here, man. And then you got some coaches that's up and coming too, man. They go Sully up there.
Yeah. Who's this tall guy in the
I forgot his name. We used to call him World Boss though, man. But hey,
I keep asking people who he is. I remember when he showed up.
I don't remember his name, but
I just couldn't remember who he was. But lots of good guys right here. Lots of guys that want to give back to basketball. And
yeah, man. Mike, I see Mike Curlew up in there. Mike has AAU experience.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, he does have a little bit. And see, look at Freddie there. He's pointing at. He's a up and coming, younger dude too, man. That lives in Baktu that really loves to coach. In fact, what he does is he takes vacation to try to come out and coach in the summertime.
Yeah.
And that's a young dude, you know.
Yeah.
See Rodney down there.
Yeah. Tell me what do you love about coaching? What is it about that got into your blood?
Well, I'm very competitive. I love to play ball, and I like winning. I like being competitive. But what I've learned as I started going on and coaching more is I like seeing kids progress. I love to see them progress. I like to see them get full potential of whatever you're doing, except crime, of course. But I've had soccer players. I talk to soccer players. I talk to cricket players. You know, it doesn't matter because I would try to get a kid to come and play basketball, but he plays cricket or runs track, and I don't say, "Hey, man, stop."
Yeah.
I try to encourage him. I'm like, you got to be the best cricket player then. You got to be the best soccer player then. If that, you just don't do it, you know? And I try to encourage. So I find myself getting the satisfaction from progression.
I see you as the type of coach that I've seen you pretty animated on the sidelines. Right?
Oh, man.
That's where that competitiveness comes in.
Yeah, I'm telling you, this is the only time my wife would say, "You so soft spoken." I'm like, when I'm coaching, I'm a different animal.
But I also know that you're really compassionate too, and I think that's why kids love you and have so much respect for you. I think I've showed this picture right here. This is kind of
JD is my boy. Oh man, and that I had to hug him with genuine because he worked so hard. He told me, Rick, before the camp started, me and him was talking. He's like, "Skid, I'm gonna get MVP." I'm like, "I believe you. Let's go."
Yeah.
Let's go. So when he got it, man, I was like, I hugged him. I was like, "Oh man, you don't know, boy, you accomplished so much." And a lot of people wouldn't know because we were together a lot, you know, because he wanted to get to the next level so bad that I would go to his home, he'll come to my home. We'll be at Calabar together. We go eat together. We did a lot together.
Talk to me about that idea of being able to get after a kid, you know, in a game situation, and then afterward be able to put your arm around him, tell him you're proud of him, and you know, that just being able, because some coaches aren't able to do that. It carries over the game situations.
First you got to show that you're on their side first. Once you show that you're on their side and they start to respect you, then you can push out of the respect. If it's not like that, you can't push because then they don't respect you. So once you get on, not saying you bowing down to them, but once you're on their side, and then you can get them to respect you. You as a coach, you can push the respect. That's what I do.
And kids want to be pushed.
Right, exactly. But they got to know that you're pushing them with the right intent behind your heart. Yeah. It can't be something that you fake. It's got to be there for real.
Yeah, you know, I remember when I first started coaching, which is way longer ago than I'd like to admit. I think it was you want to prove something. So, or at least the observations I've made of younger coaches and for myself. So you're yelling more, you're more demonstrative, you're on the officials. And then as you get older, I don't know whether that testosterone just lowers or whether you're more confident in what you're doing or what happens, but you start to kind of realize you pick your spots of where you can get after someone, and then find the times when you need to put your arm around them.
Sometimes you're actually teaching the next upcoming coach that, there's more to getting things accomplished than just being irate or being another way. That could be it, because I've learned to sit this season and kind of watch one of my players kind of take control of the floor. And I didn't have to yell. I didn't have to get at every player. So I've learned that too.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So sometimes when you're doing things as you getting older as a coach, maybe it's because you've learned and you want somebody else to learn too.
So there's a tall kid in this picture who's pretty good.
Ooh, which one of them? Shaim or Kellier or Kofi or man?
One of them's going to be making some money here pretty soon.
Yeah,
basketball. Tell me a little bit about your time with Kofi.
Kofi Coburn. I met Kofi through Nagash Coburn. Big, strong kids. And I just kind of was like, yo, you could do something with this, And I went and spoke with his dad, spoke with his brother. And I knew Nagash for quite a while before that too,
Mm-hmm.
And just taught him what I knew and what he probably can expect or what he could accomplish with his height, with playing basketball, and just mentored and directed it and taught him little things, and that was it. And then he went to the next level, and it took off from there. It's nothing that I didn't do with at least 11, 12 other kids here on the island. It's nothing I'm not doing right now.
Mm-hmm.
2 kids are going to get scholarships this year just the same. So it's not just Kofi. I'm ready to do it again.
Well, yeah, I think you nailed it too, because guys like Kofi certainly get the attention and deserve it. His accomplishments since he's been in the States playing basketball have been awesome, and they're only going to get better. But there's so many kids that don't get there for one reason or another, but you still put the same amount of time, you still have the same care for. You don't quit on a kid because he's not going to play in the NBA.
No, I don't. You're not supposed to. You can't just leave him by the wayside because something didn't work out that you expect. That means that you was trying to benefit from it or something like that. I like to see them. The kids I know finish college, getting married, and still calls me and say hello, right. How you doing? I like that. That's my thing right there. That's what it is for me. It's if it's anything else with anybody else, it'll be evident.
Yeah.
I watch you, Rick. You come down every year and you tolerate. I mean, like, simple. Just go over there, do that with that person, and the person goes and does something way different. I'm looking and I'm like, oh, poor Rick, man. Why they just can't conform and do so we can move? So I see what you go through too as a coach, trying to keep all of that organized.
Yeah, well, that's just part of it, right? But exactly. I can't agree with you more. I mean, I love to compete the same way you do. I love to beat people, right? And I don't apologize for it.
No,
we're gonna do what it takes to beat you, and we can be cool afterward. That's fine. But what I love, like you said too, I love it when I hear about, this happened this last week. One of my former players just got a head coaching job at a high school in the area. One of them just had a baby, right? And and it's all that stuff. It's that relationship that you're building. Talked about it a couple of times on this live stream. In the times I've gone out and recruited players and sat in their living room and talked to their parents. The program shouldn't just be about winning and losing.
Right.
Because ultimately, you're not going to remember that we're not going to remember 15, 20 years from now what the final score was against Puerto Rico when we beat them to qualify for whatever. But we're gonna be able to name every guy on the team. We're gonna have memories of our trip to wherever it was. We're gonna have memories in the restaurant, stories in the locker room, and those are the reasons you do it. And as you win along the way.
Rick, good teams that you know about, have heard about. That's what make it good. The camaraderie, how much the guys care for each other, and things like that. That's what makes the team really good. So the more better the coach can get that done, it's good, and it's not an easy job.
I had a team. I had a pro team in, I want to say like 05, and it was a minor league professional team, and I call them kind of like the Bad News Bears. I don't know if you know that reference. You know that reference, the Bad News Bears. We were kind of that group of guys, and we ended up playing for the championship of the league against a team full of former NBA players. We played an Arkansas team. They had, if you remember these guys, Todd Day, Oliver Miller, Scotty Thurman, Kareem Reed, right? All these guys. And then it was our guys that had Chico bail bonds on the back of our uniforms. We were, literally like the Bad News Bears. And when I look back on that season, one of the things that we were sort of forced to do, because our owner really didn't have any money,
right?
He gave me a credit card. We didn't have a home place to play. So we played like 4 or 5 home games, and we played 30 games on the road.
Wow.
So we were together all the time. And we didn't have per diem. Normally with pro teams, you go on the road, the trainer hands you a bunch of cash and for your meals, and we didn't have that. I had a credit card. So we ate every single meal together, and we were with each other all the time. And I think over time that kind of led to our success and put us in a position to have that.
Getting people to work together. Sometimes I explain to my players, I'm like, you got to think about how Phil got Shaq and Kobe to play together in their time where they was having their differences. I'm like, I'm still trying to figure out, what did he say to them? I mean, like, what was it that I would want to learn, what he said to them, because that was big right there. And those are the things that's going to help to be successful, man. So, like, what are you doing with the program right now and getting the players together? It's the best move, yo.
So we've got to say hey to Stumbo and Gary and Goofy and Omar and Coach Ludlow.
Hey,
checking in.
Ludlow, man. Oh, no. I'm telling you, yo.
You guys coach together?
Yes, but the way me and Ludlow got together, no one would ever believe.
Tell me about it. Tell us about it.
I think it was that jump ball. Me and Ludlow almost came to blows. Like there was a kid, Omar. I think his last name was Williams. Real strong guy, real good. Went to Calabar, and I was trying to get a team together, and Ludlow explained to him that you can't really play for that team because you're involved in this program, and we have invested in you in this program, so you can't just go and I didn't know the whole gist behind it.
Mm-hmm.
And me and Ludlow met each other in the hotel. I think it was at a jump ball meeting, and it almost came close to it. Right?
Yeah.
And then I told Omar, I said, Omar, just it's best if you just go and play back with Calabar, because if he's there and investing time in you, I think it's best that you do that. I said, if you need for me to teach you anything, I'll still do that or anything, but it's all right. Then Ludlow, he was supposed to get a scholarship and he needed, I think it was playing fair or something. And he called me and he said, Coach, I got the money. I said, how you got the money? He said, Coach Ludlow. I said, you see that? He said, Coach, I can't believe it. The man give me my rent money. I said, he gave you his rent money? He's like, yeah. I was like, and from when Ludlow did that, I was like, yo, he for the kids, man.
That's great. No, that's cool.
Yeah, I was like, yo, that's a big man thing right there. I'm like, I like that. So from then on, I was like, if I could even get to work with him in any way, it's cool. And my son, I was trying to get my son to come to Kingston to get more basketball at the level I'm used to. So leaving York Castle and coming to Kingston, and that's how I got the job working with Ludlow. You might end up going to Calabar.
Yeah, cool. So let's talk about that a little bit, about coaches, and because before we came on the live stream, we touched a little bit on it. Jamaica basketball.
Okay.
I should say basketball in Jamaica.
Mm-hmm.
In the view of some people, it's maybe fractioned. Do you see? Talk about that a little bit, because I think it's important to be competitive, right? That's all good. Like, two rival schools should compete with each other and pull out all the stops to beat each other. But then can you put those aside and move basketball forward in the country? Is that something that you think has happened in the past, or do you think it can happen moving forward, or am I off base?
No, you're not off base, because it's like 50-50, where you have those coaches that are competitive with you on the court, only on the court. But then you have other coaches that do things to try to get an upper hand, to put their school in a position to get extra play or to move forward. And those type of coaches I don't really dig, but those are the ones that are holding it back from being just a competitive thing on the court. I would teach my kids that in between the lines, it's in between the lines. When you get off the court, you got to respect the game. On the court, when the trash talking, I like it, but when you get off the court, you're supposed to be shaking the other kid's hand like, "Hey, good game, man." I like that, and that's how you would see it in the NBA, even amongst Isaiah and Jordan right now. They probably don't like each other, but I bet you they'll say, "Yo, that dude could play some ball," and vice versa. When it only has to do with basketball and being competitive. Anything other than that is personal. So you're right, Rick. It's hard to distinguish, but it's moving in the right direction. It's just have to be more concentration on actually being competitive than having a motive.
Yeah.
To win.
So this guy's saying hi. We spoke of him earlier.
Yeah. Hey, man. I watch him develop in so many ways. It's crazy. Ron was known not to have a jump shot, and this dude will come every evening to George's before everybody come and start shooting his jump shot. Now you can't leave Ron open with them rotten knees to get a jump shot. He hit that, but I've watched him learn. I watched him learn how to coach.
I don't think I know Rowan has a bad knee, right? He's got a bad knee, but I think he wouldn't have no problem with this guy guarding him.
What? No, hey, I'm gonna almost be 50, man. I still got it, yo. You know, you gotta believe. The other day when I watched the show and Kyle said he dunked.
Yeah.
I asked Umar, I went outside and I squeezed one in, man.
Did you?
Yeah, I did. Ask Umar. Umar saw it.
Did it look anything like this?
No, no, it didn't. No.
Were you wearing a suit and tie?
No. Look at that dude. Off the rim, man.
That's funny.
But yeah, man. Ron, I watched him learn do a lot of things over the years, and good dude. He had a good position right now.
Omar says that you helped him with his game a lot. Omar Barnes, one of the top players in Jamaica.
What? Hey, man. I know Omar for a long time. We won championships at college level together. We won championships with Slayers together. He's one of the proven players that I know could have made Division I basketball. I know he could have played Division I basketball. He was strong. He would have played the 2 spot. And then considering what he's learned now, being if he was on the next level, he would have learned more.
Mm-hmm.
You know, coming closer to maybe being pro. But he would have learned it. He would have been good, man. But he is one of the best players on the island. My boy. He's getting old, though, Rick.
I know that.
We
all are. You are too. Hey, where did Skid come from?
New York. Graffiti. I used to write graffiti in New York as a kid. And, you know, doing graffiti writing. But what I did one day, I looked the name up in the dictionary. And when you build up like a step and you put the boards together and you build that formation to make the steps, you pour the concrete in and it freezes and it gets hard, then you move the skid away. Right? You move the foundation away. So all I do is just build, then I move out the way. So ever since then, I've been just taking the name up to say this was I'm gonna follow. Skid the foundation and build the foundation, build them up, and then just move out the way and then take the same material and go and build something else.
Yeah. This guy's been doing it a long time too.
Hey man. When I first met Goofy and he said Goofy, I was like, I wonder why they really call you Goofy. But hey, it's one of the most serious coaches when it comes to kids, man. Like, he really get into it. You probably would mistake him because he gets really angry, man. Like, really pissed off. But it's all behind helping the kid. But trust me, that kid would look and not understand that, like, But he for the kids, man. I like Goofy, my boy. King Kofi, big boy.
So, okay, before I let you go.
Yes, sir.
You happen to be one of the best family men I know, and you have a great family. So just talk to me about, catch me up with Umar, catch me up with Nina, talk about your family for a minute, and just so I can hear a little bit.
Nina, my wife, we've been married 29 years. Yeah, almost 30 years now. And she's been my partner and been down with everything that I do, bad, good. She just like, oh, Skid, I'm sticking with you. And it's been like that. So, you know, I love my girl. She's a guidance counselor here at York Castle, a very successful guidance counselor here at York Castle. And she's doing her thing, you know?
Good.
My
Good.
I have
kids?
I have 2 daughters. Nicia, and she's in Georgia, and Jatika in Georgia. They're both in school and they're both working.
Who is your daughter that came to jump ball a couple of years?
Jatika,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
My oldest never really came out as much. But Jatika, you do know.
Yeah.
She's going to school and she's working and she does photography. She takes some great.
Okay.
So yeah, that's really cool. And then Umar, you guys know Umar.
The kid behind the camera.
Hey,
the kid off to the side wherever he is. I can hear him. There he is.
You guys have known Umar since he's been 3 years old.
I know. I don't have that picture. I took that picture off. I wish I had it. I had it.
I saw it the other day, but look at that. Hey, but he's doing good. Umar completed high school in the States and took his SAT and was looking to go to college. And me and his mom came up with, Umar, you can take a break, take a year off, And he was like, no. I was like, what you mean? He's like, I don't want to take a break off. So he enrolled himself in school at York Castle and played basketball and did sixth form here. He does music. That's his thing that he does. So he's been doing his music, and he's recently got an offer for a scholarship to a school out in Kansas.
Yeah, that'll be awesome.
Right, that'll be real awesome. So he's looking to take care of that, and that's where we're at actually as a family right now. Good.
Before I let you go now, talk to me a little bit about Jamaica basketball and what you see the possibilities in the future for Jamaica basketball with all these up and coming kids and guys that are really talented that are going to have opportunities to show themselves. Talk about the program a little bit.
The Jamaica basketball, the program since 2006, to me, could have been better. Forging relationships with the kids that advance from the island. That's the biggest part of it. Sometimes, in actuality, when you ask someone to give back, and they say to themselves, give back when you didn't give me anything, is big. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, I've heard that.
Right. So even if you say, I'm going to give back because I'm Jamaican, I just want to do it for Jamaica, that's a different story. But in actuality, if you say to someone, give back, you didn't give me back anything. So one of the things that I try to instill with the kids I work with is that you need to come back. You need to give something back so that the next one is coming up can have better. The courts are not conducive here. If you had better courts, you'll get more basketball. If it's raining and I look outside, I'm not going to the court. I know it's wet. But if there's something covering it up and I look out and I can still go to the court because I know that I can get to play. And you'll see progression with basketball go up. So if basketball in a whole for Jamaica basketball development can get things like that done, you'll see basketball move. Get the coaches that are wanting to help, use them even more. I mean, if not anyone, those are the ones that should be treated good because they're gonna be there. And that's one of the things that I pride myself on is that they know Coach Skid is going to be there. If I'm not there, wow, what happened? You were sick? What happened? Yeah, but that's how you got to have it. That they'll just be dependent on you to be there and be like, I'm a coach. And then that's how you could get them.
Willie's got to, go ahead. Finish.
Yeah, man, you'll get more. I thought by now, the 16 years I've been back, I always thought that you mean you can't get 10 players that can go get to the next level and come back and play for our national team by now. That I've always thought that if we work together and we provide, they would say to me, Skid, you getting scholarship for kids, but then your team is not gonna be better. You know, I'll make that sacrifice because I know 5 years from now, 5 kids would have seen that one kid go, and you would have 5 developed kids right next to you. They can take one, but development, you know?
That's the measure, right? That's the measure. Are you willing to let a kid go and sacrifice maybe the level of play for your team?
Right. And those type of things is what's going to help develop the national program, develop basketball, is having them come back.
Yeah.
Having them help come back, give something, do something, do a video, put it up online, you know, and just drag it out. Keep doing basketball. Keep having it a certain way. There's a coach by the name of Martell that coaches at Campion. That dude, I've watched him grow. And the reason why I named him, because every time you think of a school that's academically up there, you thinking, oh, they can't mix it with basketball. He's done it.
Yeah.
He's done it, man. And it's not like George's that was good in basketball for a while, a long time, and have good students, or like Calabar or or JC, you know what I'm saying? But Campion was like, we don't got no time for basketball. and now, you know what I'm saying, he's mixed it, you know, student athlete, yo.
Yeah, that's cool. That leads to this question by Willie. Have you noticed young players in high school with real potential to make it? I'm sure you have. What about there's the list of guys that are brought up all the time. Are there any guys that are flying under the radar right now that are up in your area that you know about that you can pump up a little bit?
You mean as far as
just really good players that might have a chance to continue on and play?
You mean like that's here in Jamaica, or?
Yeah. In Jamaica.
Okay.
Young guys.
I'm not too familiar with a lot of the guys here. Not by name.
Mm-hmm.
Not by name. What's his name from Holland?
Flawless.
Even though small, with the right coaching and the right mentoring, Jamaica got a point guard right there, man. He reminds me of
Jamaica needs a point guard.
That's what I'm saying. But you would have a point guard right there. He gets up, you know what I'm saying, and he's more of a scorer right now. But the thing with Jamaicans is that they're so athletic, everything else can be curved. You know what I'm saying? You can curve everything, and that's what I've done. It. I know you're athletic. I know you can jump. I know you can run, but I'm going to teach you how to dribble. I'm going to teach you how to cut. I'm going to teach you how to box out. I'm going to teach you how to close out. You know, and just those little things, and keep teaching. We can have a basketball can be so great just by paying attention to all the talent that's around.
I'm going to piggyback on what you just said. I showed this earlier. I don't know if you saw it or not. Junior Davis said that you gave him handles.
For real? All right, see, and this is a thing too. You can't just go on YouTube, see a drill, and go outside and teach a player, or you can't come up with a drilling. It's the coaching points. What are you telling him? What are you noticing that's weak, that he's not doing? All these little things, what do you notice? And every player is different. So you can't tell one player one thing and tell there's some player that don't talk. So then you got to tell him, hey, you got to talk on the court. But then you got a player that just be talking all the time. You like, there's a time for you to talk, and there's a time for you. So it's different with all the players, and you recognizing certain things, teach them how to dunk, right?
Did you do that?
Recognizing certain things, you know, as him saying that whenever the player plays for me, I'm recommending that you dunk the ball.
I agree, 100%. When in doubt, dunk.
Don't tell me about you can't reach your rim. No, dunk the ball. I try not to take any excuses. You know what I'm saying? So like one of the times Kofi played in the tournament game, he got the ball at the elbow and he kind of looked to the sidelines and looked back and looked at the sideline. And I was like, go! And he just went and just boomed it. Boom! I'm like, yeah. But at that time with that team, I had about 4 or 5 15-year-olds that was dunking. In Jamaica, that's not really.
Well, once you do it that first time, then you know you can, right? Then after that, it's so much easier to just put it on somebody.
Who that?
It's Kelly.
Oh, Kelly. Mamba. Jordan Kelly went to Calabar. Oh man, prominent youth. With an example with him, coach, when you're big, you're forced to play the big spot. You see someone 6'5" in Jamaica, he'll tell you he's playing center. You like, huh?
Yeah.
No, where I come from, that's a guard, you know, but he played center, and naturally a coach wouldn't make the 4 or 5 handle the ball or 3 handle the ball to an extent, right? So when he would grab the rebound, it's pass it to the guards. But I was always thinking that, man, he's 6'3", he's 6'2", he should be putting this thing on the floor. So what we did was I just met with him on Saturdays, Sundays, after school, late after school.
Yeah.
And we worked, and he got it. He was just talking about the day when he tried to dunk as opposed to the day where he did a certain type of dunk that I was asking for him to do. Yeah. And I'm like, that's progress, yo. That's it. I mean, when I see that, it doesn't impress me so much, because the next thing I'm doing is like, yo, you should have windmilled it.
Those are my expectations.
Right. You know, so every time you get somewhere, I'm always like, you got to raise your level. Hence, that's why I named my program Raise Your Level. Because no matter what or where or what you're doing, you always should be wanting to raise your level.
Do a little bit more.
Right.
A little bit more. Mm-hmm. All right, man. It's been an hour. We could talk for another hour.
Yeah, we could.
But I'm going to let you go. I appreciate you doing it.
You see what he said for president for what? Let's go. Let's go. I'm with it. Let's go.
you name it, right?
Yeah, I'm with it. Whatever. Love Bonds, man. That's my boy.
What's this? Your broken dunk.
Grandpa.
That's my dad. Look at that. Oh, that's my dad. Look at that.
You ever dunk on this guy?
Never.
No. Hey, that's my dad, man. That's the man right there, yo. He talking about my brother. My brother could get up.
Yeah.
Yeah, he could get up. Both of them.
How many kids in your family?
4 of us.
Where do you stand in that group?
The
middle or oldest?
I'm the oldest, but considered the youngest.
I know why. I understand why. Skid, I appreciate you, man. Thanks for doing this.
Hey, Rick, man. I'm here for you, man. Anything you need for me to do in helping you with your progress, let me know. Anything, anywhere, anything.
You know I will.
What's up? I got you.
Yeah. Photo bomb!
There he is. What's up, buddy? Hey, let you guys go. Be safe during this craziness, and let's get back on the court soon.
Hey, can I shoot a shout out to someone, man?
Please, yeah, go for it.
Mr. Johnson, Mr. Steve Johnson, y'all. Jamaican basketball development, y'all. He's responsible for a lot, so that's my boy. I gotta shout him out, man.
Yeah, we talked the other day, and he had just awesome great things to say about you. And then I tried to one-up him with great things to say about you. And it turned into a Skid love fest. It got a little bit out of control. So we tried to prove to each other who liked Skid more.
Let's go. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to raise the level on that.
One more shout out.
Oh, I shouted you out, Kofi. What you worried about? You know how many times I had to fight you to get out your bed to work? You remember that? Oh, shout out Kofi. Big Kofi.
Skid, we'll talk soon, man.
All right, man. Love.
Thanks, buddy. See ya. One of the best. Just an awesome guy and fantastic coach and mentor, and all the love we saw in the comments is an indication of that. So thanks for Skid for doing that tonight, and thanks for Umar to setting it up, and of course Nina, his awesome wife, the whole family, just great. So appreciate you guys checking this out. We'll be back on Monday. This is the Jamaica Basketball Project. We're trying to get to Paris in 2024. And in the coming weeks, I'm going to show you some opportunities on how you can help us get there. But in the meantime, doing this, checking this out, the Jamaica Basketball Project on YouTube and Facebook, and telling people about it and subscribing to it and clicking the follow button, clicking the like button, clicking the subscribe. Go into iTunes podcasts and give us a 5-star rating, and just tell people about it. Share it and let as many people know, because you never know if you tell some people and they tell some people who comes across it, and we're going to build something great here. And it'll be because of all the hard work that all of you have helped with. So until next time, thanks so much. We'll see you back here again on Monday. Have a great weekend, and we'll talk soon. Thanks.